the show stealer, Dolph Ziggler. Dolph, how are you today?
Good. How you guys doing?
We're excited, man. So talk about this show that we're going to see tonight at Caroline's.
It's going to be pretty sweet, man. I've been talking with Caroline's, I want to say on and off, for about 2 or 3 years now, and it's been there's so much going on when we do these weeks that everyone's all over, and I can't confirm that anyone will be in town or be around. Finally, we had it all work out. I got some people who first timers, a handful of people who have been in front of a mic once or twice, and it all worked out. And because of the crazy outpour of the fan support, it's going to be a crazy show. I'm really looking forward to it.
Dolph, what type of show is this? Is this like a comedy show? Is this like kind of like an interaction with all your buds kind of show? Like, what's the general feel of it?
The idea was at first was maybe a little bit of a variety show because most of my friends don't do stand-up comedy. But the way I put it through, I have a couple of friends in stand-up comedy who are wrestling fans, so I put them on the show, and I have a handful of people who have never done comedy before, but it's in front of a WWE crowd, so they're either going to eat them alive or enjoy what they're doing, so it'll be entertaining one way or another. And so I'm going to, I don't know how this show's going to be like 48 minutes or like 2.5 hours, so I'm ready at the end to either do 5 minutes or 25 minutes or whatever the hell happens, but it's going to be mostly stand-up. And a couple people are getting 3 and 4 minutes, but there'll be a couple pop-ins and a little bit of a wrestling tie-in. I'm booking the card right now, so I think it'll be pretty cool.
How many of these stand-up shows have you done so far?
It's been like 2.5 years of me trying to think, but we have such a crazy schedule. I've only done it a handful of times. So I think I've opened for a couple friends and done 4 or 5 minutes 5 or 6 times. And I've done, I was in Laugh Boston 2 nights ago with my friend Sarah Tiana, and I did like 20 minutes. So I'm just getting going, but according to like a Zack Ryder or something, I'm a seasoned pro because he's never done it before.
So this should be interesting tonight at Caroline's. Now, obviously tonight when you do this show, everybody in the house knows you. They're all WWE fans. But what's it like when you open up for a comedian and you're probably not doing it in front of the quote-unquote WWE universe? I mean, what's that like for you doing it in front of a completely different crowd than what you're used to?
It's awesome because, I don't get a chance to do like those 5,000 open mics where there's like 3 people in the crowd and they're on their phones not paying attention. I'm, usually on some show that I don't belong on, and I'm lucky to be there because some fans will get their butts in the seat. So I opened for a friend of mine, Sarah Tiana. I opened for a friend of mine, Katie Quigley, and they're real headliners, and they're there to see them. And I'll go, hey, anyone here wrestling fans? And I'll hear crickets or 2 people cough, and go, okay, all right, here we go. And it's fun. So you never know. In this situation or like the Summerslam week, you're going to get a huge chunk of fans there. But, that's what it's all about. But that's where you actually learn when there's no wrestling fans there, like what works and what doesn't.
I know you've put your toe in the in politics a little bit. I've seen you on Kennedy, and I know you're into that. Do politics come into play in your comedy show at all?
The weirdest thing is, for about 20 years now, I've wanted to be Dennis Miller and do all this political stuff that I've been studying for 20 years. And it is such a sharp, hot topic with everybody that the last thing I want to do is walk up to the mic and divide the audience in half by saying hello. So right now it is I'm going to Chipotle, I'm on Tinder, stuff like that kind of stuff, playing it safe. I can't, I got to learn and, find out what my voice is first, and then we'll slowly get back into politics.
Gotcha.
And of course, the show is tonight, and it's technically is tonight because it starts at 11:59 p.m. It's at Caroline's on Broadway. And again, tickets still available. 212-757-4100 if you want to get tickets, or go to carolines.com to see if there's still some tickets left. How do you handle a heckler when you're doing your show?
It's very similar to handling somebody in the front row of a show. And when you're wrestling, you shut them up one way or another. A quick comment, you shut them down. People are there to enjoy themselves, and they're on your side. And if someone's taking the fun out of it, it's pretty quick to go. I'd rather call something on the fly because I'm usually pretty quick about it, and that makes it that much fun.
All right, let me ask you this: what if, just so happens, Bully was to go to the show at Caroline's tonight and started heckling you? What would you say to Bully if you were on stage tonight?
Tonight, of course, it'll be midnight and there'll be no cell phone, so it'd be a lot different than what I would say, maybe on television or on a phone call right now. You say similar insults that I would say to my friend Tommy Dreamer. You kind of fit for both of them.
Oh wow! I could give you a million Dreamer jokes. Oh, just go to my Twitter and you can find hundreds and hundreds of Dreamer jokes. So, you know what question I want to ask you though, and this is like probably the most important question I can ever ask you, and I think wrestling fans would want to know: if you could only listen to one Motley Crue album for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
Well, since this is the most important question that anyone's ever asked me, it's hard to not go Too Fast for Love, man. I don't know. I just put the radio on. I'll put the hair metal station on my phone, but what would you pick? One Forever? What would you pick?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Too Fast for Love for me.
You got it, man. Old grungy, punk rocky sound. Come on.
I would actually choose Shout at the Devil, but that's just me.
That's because you're
typical.
a Jericho fan. That's because you're a Jericho fan and you kiss Jericho's ass.
I didn't even know Jericho liked that one.
Yeah,
more
you
than
know
that's
Jericho's favorite one. So you
God.
just said the same one, so Jericho could like you better. You're always chasing the hug.
You know what?
That's like some girl at Hot Topic getting the Shout at the Devil t-shirt like, oh, it's my favorite album. Like, you don't even know that they're a band. That's what it is. That's
easy,
fine.
pal. I'm 47 years old. I saw them on the Theater of Pain tour, okay? Please, give me a break.
Sorry about that. Sorry for you.
Give me a break.
Okay, so wrestling, Dave. Ask him a wrestling question.
The one that we've had the guy on for 10 minutes, and we haven't even brought up the fact that he's your Intercontinental champion. And I crying out loud.
I think he's happy about that.
But they call you the
champ. Who cares?
Well, they call you the show stealer, and you've been doing just that lately. Talk about this match that's taking place on Sunday at the Barclays Center, SummerSlam, between you and Seth Rollins.
It's pretty cool because no matter where you stand, what you do, what you love, because of Brock Lesnar being the Universal Champ and not always being around, when it comes to live events, when it comes to our television show, we get to be a focal part of it. And it's we're like a main thing that's actually happening with the Intercontinental Championship, with Seth Rollins, who's one of the hottest wrestlers going right now because everything he does is clicking. So it makes it that much more special for me because I've had Intercontinental title matches at SummerSlam. And sometimes Miz would talk once or twice for a few minutes, and then I would jump him or something, and then we went to a match. This is something that's really cool for me because I was doing nothing for a few months, for a few years off and on. But now it actually matters. The story is there. I have someone watching my back. It's changed my career to always someone who almost would win, but is actually winning now. And now to have Dean Ambrose in his corner, the story has been built up for months. What we do on Sunday, no matter the outcome, will be special because the story is already built in. And then, two of the best going right now are going to beat the hell out of each other and try and outdo each other.
Dolph, how is your chemistry with Seth?
It's funny. It's very similar to like Del Rio because we don't hang out. I don't think I have his number in my phone, but we're just two people who want to be the best. And you can feel it when you're out there, and you can mesh. And then once you get a couple of reps in, you start to just know that you can go and be somewhere and up into them in the ring without even looking. So it's really, really strong chemistry between the two of us, and that's what makes that tied in with the story, plus the title, plus all the outside aspects. That's it really is like wrestling. It's not just storytelling, but having some risk, something on the line, other than just wanting to win. He's a young up-and-coming guy who's going to be one of the best ever. I'm someone who's been around for a long time who doesn't want to leave, without being a multiple-time world champion.
How do you believe that Drew has been coming along?
I think he's doing awesome. He was, when he was here the first time, I forgot how young he was. But he reminds me, I was like, holy cow, he was like 22 years old or something crazy. So he looks like $1 million. Every interview I've done, everyone's like, what's he really like? This guy is very similar to what he is on TV right now. He is laser focused. He reminds me of a real life Terminator. He's jacked. He's tall. He can throw people around. And not only that, the things that we say on TV, he says them to me in real life before we go out. Like genuine anger and angst to like go out there and show everyone like this is what it's supposed to look like when a star is beating someone up. Like, damn, you're right, man.
You know, Dolph, you mentioned Alberto Del Rio before, and you had that amazing moment the night after WrestleMania 29 at the Meadowlands when you won that world championship. Do you feel like right now your career is back at that point, and maybe even after these last couple of pay-per-views, maybe exceeding that as well?
To be fair, we had that moment, not just me. But yeah, no, it was great. I'm kidding around. It was awesome, man. It was something that for 5 minutes I could never forget, and people still to this day will come up and sign and say I was there or watched at home, and it was such a special thing because it's the guy who kind of loses all the time and almost wins, almost lost cashing in, and came through. All this is a bad guy who doesn't really talk on TV, and just the reason I was in that position was because of the fans. So we were fans at the time, not WWE Universe. So it was the weirdest thing to have that grassroots thing happen and make that world title happen. Because I was told to my face, you'll never be world champion, you'll never win Money in the Bank. And both those things happened. So because of them, that was so much more special. But, now I feel like anytime the ball's been handed to me, I've made it work. Anytime it wasn't handed to me, I snatched it up and made it work. So right now, clicking with someone watching my back that, isn't just there to be ringside or get booed. He's there to kick ass and make sure I win. And that going in with the story of me wanting to be the best all ties in and just, makes you really excited for the work.
And Dolph, really quick, I just want to go back to that night after WrestleMania 29 because I was in the building that night, and that was a...
Mark.
Hey, listen. You know what? I was actually just going to give you a compliment, but Bully, ask your question.
No. Don't be disrespectful to our Intercontinental champion. He's allowed to call you a Mark.
But,
Mark.
I am, and I'm proud of it. That's why I've been the host of this show for 10 years. But
there you go.
But you know what, Dolph? Like I said, I was in that building, and that crowd, that WrestleMania crowd, crapped on everything that night. Absolutely everything. If I remember, Sheamus and Randy Orton were in the ring, and they were chanting Michael Cole. So they crapped on everything except that moment with you. And you're right, you weren't the good guy. You were the bad guy in that scenario. And I never heard a Meadowlands crowd pop as loud as they did that night. That's got to be something just for that alone to make you proud, and had to be at least up until now a career moment.
Yeah, oh my God, of course. And by the way, I'm someone who does it. I've seen it all. I'm a bitter old time guy. But I was ready for that, when my music hit, that rush of energy that hit me, it almost luckily my face was frozen. I almost holy shit. It was like this unreal thing. And my favorite part of it was, my absolute favorite was, they were being a weird WrestleMania crowd. They're being loud and screwing around. I didn't know I was doing that until very late in the day. They didn't know what was happening. I was a bad guy, didn't talk too much, didn't win too much. And the world champion was beaten up, had a broken leg, and he still almost beat me 3 times in 5 minutes. And that is one of my favorite matches in the world because of the emotion. Because you can see it. They go, here he comes. This is his moment. We did this. And then I almost lose. And you go, oh, my God. They're screwing Dolph again. I knew they would. And then to bring it back around in 5 minutes to be able to tell 3 up and down parts of the story is one of my absolute favorite things I've ever done.
Dolph, you're a guy that can tell stories, and you're also a guy that can do a lot of really great athleticism. You're one of the unique ones who can be old school with his storytelling and new school with, the cool spots that you can do. Which do you prefer?
My favorite is when you guys came back and you go, Dolph, you do all that high flying stuff, right? And I go, nope. I usually just catch Kofi or something. Yeah, but you do something off the top, right? I go, nope. It was how about an elbow or something? I go, nope, none of that stuff. But no, I really appreciate that. I feel like I am half throwback, half, we always have to be like this Renaissance man to be able to talk, walk, be able to have the psychology, be the leader in the ring, and be able to do the cool, it's still 2018, it's not 1980. So I resort to a lot of the times trying to make it about the storytelling because someone like a Kofi or Seth or Dean who do these crazy things, I could be mixed up in and I can find out where they go and what they do. And once in a while I can take up a notch and do the things that they do. But most importantly, if it's not, some matches will have crazy outside action nonstop. And when I'm very lucky to be in a storyline right now where things are happening, I like to take up whatever happened the week before, story-wise or talking-wise, and find a way to push that in. So I think that is kind of an old school thing. But I still, nothing's funnier to me than what's that thing you do off the top? Nothing.
Well,
Nothing's so funny to me.
Actually, I thought a funnier moment is, Dave, I'll tell you real quick. We were having a 6-man match, and Dolph was our partner.
Uh-huh.
And Dolph goes to the ring, and then here come me and Devon, and we get in the ring, and we're all excited for this match. And Dolph just looks at us, and he goes, "Guys, I got to tell you, my win-loss record isn't very good right now."
That's awesome. That is awesome. You know what, Dolph? I give you a lot of credit because if I was on the treadmill this long, I probably would have had a heart attack. And the fact that you've talked to us while on the treadmill, I give you a lot of credit. The show is
It's the little people like you that make the big people like me feel a lot more important.
Touche, my friend. DZ and Friends tonight at Caroline's on Broadway. Again, it's at 11:59 p.m., so get there early. Get there like 11:57. And again, it's DZ and Friends tonight at Caroline's. Dolph, it's been a pleasure, and good luck on Sunday in your match for your Intercontinental Championship.
Dude, we're kind of glossing over it, man. Caroline's has this crazy tradition. I'm a huge comedy nerd. This is a special moment for me, a special moment for my friends. It's going to be amazing. And don't you ever wish me good luck again. You know I don't need it.
Okay, well, I'm a Mark. You're a nerd, and I appreciate the time. I appreciate the time today. Thank you.
You got it. Take it easy, guys.
All right,
Take care,
awesome.